Alright everybody, hello and welcome to this little tutorial on how to be an outfielder in HCBB, because a lot of people don't know how to play it properly, so I'm gonna learn you a thing or two about the outfield. And I'm gonna start with right field and go over to left field, and then towards the end I'm gonna have some examples of how proper positioning and reaction time in left field has resulted in me making several plays that, a normally positioned left fielder just simply wouldn't be able to make. So I'm going to start out with the right field. It's probably the outfield position I play the least, simply because I'm normally on the other side. But right field is not too hard. I know people think, oh, right field, you see no action, but it's HCBB, there's plenty of lefties, you don't really have to worry. So, this is where I would be standing to play a normal right field. Might be a little further back than most people, but in HCBB, if you can play the ball off the wall pretty quickly, it's easy to hold people to a single, and I think that's quite valuable with this positioning. You probably won't be 9-3ing anybody, but that happens like once or twice a season per team, so not really that important, I would say. You're not too deep. If you were, say, back here, don't think this would be worth it, since you lose the ability to catch some mediocrely hit bloops. Because right here you can make it to the wall pretty quick, but I mean, you're not robbing anything on these walls. Look at this. Like, maybe if it's right on the yellow you can rob, but even then, the animation might not go high enough. Yeah, I would be playing about right here. I wouldn't play any closer to the line. Like, I don't think this is a good position because you lose a lot of area out here. I mean, you can make it to the line plenty quick. Right field, I wouldn't play gap shift too much on right field as compared to how I almost always gap shift in left. Because say you're playing like a nice solid gap shift like right here. If that ball's down the line, it's a triple, and there's no way around it. While in left field, if it's down the line, you can still hold them to 2 because you're much, much closer to third base. Like, look, that ball's going to take about probably 3.5 seconds from when it leaves your hand to make it to third, and that's on a good throw. Well, if I'm, say, right here, it's only going to be about 2.5. Yeah, that's about all the advice I have for right field. I do think it's the simplest position of all the outfielders. See, I'm just going to move on to center field here. With center field, the positioning, there's no really good gap shift I would play as center fielder. It's probably the easiest position-wise, but skill-wise, it's not really the easiest. I would still say right field is, so you kind of want to just line yourself up here. Try to be in, as lined up with second base as possible. You want to be, like, this is a bit shallow. I would be playing about right here. Yeah, with center field, it's really important not to let, too much over your head for free. Because, everyone's trying to line up the ball perfectly centered. And the ball simply goes further when you have really, really good timing on it. Like if you have like a 0.1 or negative 0.1, it's going to just go further. Your mag is increased, so you want to be a little further back, with right field probably being slightly further in than you, and the same with left field. But big thing with being a center fielder, right? If that ball is hit, like say about right here, and your left fielder is going for it, if your left fielder is going for it, you need to be backing them up and taking an angle on the ball. Because say they dive and miss, you need to be ready to scoop that and throw it to 2. Same thing with the right field. If it's hit, say you're just chilling out here, ball's hit about to there, right fielder goes for it, you need to take an angle on the ball. And I'll have a clip of that later in the video of how an angle can save a single from becoming a double and that kind of thing. Yeah, you just gotta be ready to back up your corner outfielders, and you need to be quick to react too, because if that ball is gonna go over you, you need to be ready to back it up and jump and dive for it. So there's gonna be a lot of balls if you're playing center field. There's gonna be a lot that go like here, 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 and even a bit in front of you as well. But it's just important that, you take the right angles on everything, and to back up your corner outfielders. So I'm going to move on to left field now. I'm playing in Shunichi just because that's the team I'm currently on. This is mostly meant for them, but really this advice extends to anybody in any park. Though with a couple fields, because they're a bit wonky, like maybe Kia, you might be playing slightly differently. Like Kia has a super deep center field, it's like 180, but it has a super tiny wall. Like Nippon Ham as well. Nippon Ham has an incredibly short left and right field, especially left field. But yeah, left field. So about here is where I would say a normal left fielder would play. Maybe even a little further off the line, but I don't want to get too far, because my view of a normal left field is a little skewed. So I'd say about right here. Pretty good depth, although, back it up a little bit. Yeah, so about right here. If you want to play a normal left field, right here is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with playing right here. Usually, if I'm playing normal, my version of normal is about right here, simply because of what I mentioned earlier. If that ball's hit down the line, I can still make it. I can make it there pretty quickly. Like, I could probably make it from here to here in about, let's see. I'm gonna start, 1. Alright, I pretty much hit them like right there at about 7.5 seconds. It's gonna take them probably about a very similar time to run all the way to second. So, if not a little longer. So there's really no reason why you should ever not be able to gun someone at third, playing my version of a normal left field. I also usually play back a little more than average, just because, people are trying to hit it hard, so it's more likely that, or it's more valuable to rob like a double that's basically the warning track than a little bloop single. Especially because, a single is just somebody on first, you still have to double play. But, a double is a runner on second, there's no force out except first. And a double is much more likely to score a run if there's somebody already on base. Like a double over the head, like in the gap here, if you're playing normal left field and normal center field, that could score somebody from first base in some parks. Like Nippon Ham, there's a triangle out there, and that's pretty deadly. But instead, if I'm going to be back here, I have a much better chance of catching it, especially if it's at a higher angle. So, this is about where I'd normally be playing left, maybe slightly further in, but I like right about here. This is normally what I'm referring to when I'm saying I'm gap shifted. Although also, I'll sometimes get even more frisky with it and play about right here. If I'm playing right here, I'll normally have center field shift slightly over to the right to help out the right fielder with the right center field gap. So they can just close it off a little bit. It's still incredibly hard to get a triple down the line here, because one thing you got to remember is when that ball is hit, right? Usually it's not just going to be a slow roller that perfectly lands in the corner. Like, it's going to be hard hit, it's going to bounce once and hit off the wall. And this park has, I would say, exceptionally easy walls to read, because you can see it's curved. It's just like completely curved all the way around. Very, very simple. Which means if a ball, move over a bit, try to show the curve a little more. Yeah, if a ball is hit like right here, it's going to bounce and then come off the wall around here. So it's going to go boing and then hit around here. Then you need to be ready to read it off the wall, scoop it, and then try to gun the runner at 2 or 3, depending upon, how many runners are on base or where they are. With the left center field, pretty much the same thing, except I would say maybe a little less severe of a bounce. So if it hits here, say it hits here, it's probably going to come off here. Again, just get ready to scoop it at 2. With center field, it starts to straighten out a little bit, so the closer you are to being dead center. If the ball hits anywhere in this, between these two fireworks, it's going to come off basically straight, I would say, unless it hits a really weird seam. So just get directly behind it, get ready to scoop, gun. With right field, it's going to bounce off to the left instead. So just be completely ready. Left. Or, yeah, it's going to hit here, bounce off a little to the left. Off there, same thing, just a little more to the left. Alright, that's pretty much all I have to say about the basic positioning and all that. I think here I'll just add a couple more, like just a couple clips of why I believe the gap shift in left field is like completely superior to any other left field positioning. And yeah, hopefully this helps y'all just a, just a little bit. Because really, you shouldn't be losing runs to bad outfielding. It's quite tragic when you lose it, but I guess a couple more things. Just try to hit your act when you're throwing. If you want, you can just go in like a BP server and have both you on the home team or something. Just have someone throw you the ball in the outfield. Just grab it and try to hotkey and just remember to look where you're throwing. So like, I'm looking like this. I hit shift. And I don't remember if that's like turning shift lock on or not. Like if I'm freely rotate, but yeah. And you look, shift 2, click. It's really not hard to play in the outfield, but yeah, that's about it. So I'll just put the clips here, and thanks for watching.
Here you are now. Yeah. Oh no? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Fucking joking so
It's just Korean. It's
literally a ball, bro.
It's a fucking Korean. Okay.
I need everyone to rev up. I need everyone to rev the fuck up because this is a fastball strike. Okay, ready?
Make a catcher!
No, you're not catching that. You're not getting that.
No!
You actually have him at 2. You have him at 2.
What an angle. What an angle.